Hey everyone, what is up? John with Superfly here. BeSuperfly.com. A special shout out to our Superflyer members. Y'all are getting this tutorial a month ahead of time. And if you're curious about our Superflyer membership, head to our website, check it out. Tons of value for what you pay. And yeah. Alright, so in this tutorial, I'm going to go over some form styling with CSS. And here I have loaded one of ET's free layouts. And I've replaced their form with the gravity form, and by default this is what I have. Your default might be different depending on your Divi theme options and customizations you may have already done, but I kind of want to match this form to what's going on with this page. I see a button down here. I want my submit button to be like that instead of like this. That's really hard to read. And then it'd be cool to get these forms a little more, these fields a little more breathing room. And maybe even have this shadow effect on them too to kind of match that. So all I've got going on so far is an empty style sheet here, and we're going to be putting our styles in the page here. So here I have the page open in the front end editor, and again we'll probably just be putting our styles in the page settings area. This might be down here for you guys. It might be down here. I moved it that way. The save button won't be behind my video, so I've moved it up over here. And if you open that up and you hit the settings, that's going to get us the page settings, and under advanced is custom CSS, and I'll just be putting the CSS here for this tutorial. You'd probably want to put this though in your either your child theme CSS file or your Divi theme options area. That's where you'd probably want to put it, because it's only going to apply to forms on this page, and we'd want that to apply to all the forms on our website. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this text module here that I put my form. You see there's my gravity form, and I'm going to give this an ID, and I'm just going to call it, actually I'm going to give it a class, sorry. I'm going to call it Superfly form. Great, and I'm just going to go ahead and save that, because I want to use that as an identifier in my CSS. So here's my CSS, and I'm just going to say Superfly form styles, and I'll comment that out. That way I kind of know what this code's going to do. And then I'm just going to get ready with my Superfly form. That's all my rules are going to start out with that. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and refresh this page here. And now when I go down here and I right click and hit inspect, it's going to bring up my inspect element tool. Let me kind of resize this so it'll be, there we go. And then you see way up here, here's our row, here's our column, and here's our text module, and it says Superfly form right there. And so let's first work on matching the labels here to this font, and possibly even that color. Actually, I like it the color it is because I have this blue, so I'll leave that. The gray is fine. But I'm going to go ahead and right click inspect this guy, and I see that the font family is Roboto Slab, 20 pixels, line height is 2M. So I'm going to go ahead and remember that, or you can copy it here. Actually, let me just do that. Let me just copy it. I won't need the line height, but we'll just copy all those rules there. And now I'm going to go click on my label here. Great. All right, so I'm going to run to my brackets, and I'm going to go ahead and paste in those 3 rules. I'm going to get rid of this line height one for now. And then I'm going to now go find the code to identify these labels. So I'm going to inspect it again. And here we see G-form, wrapper, top label, G-form label, yada yada. I'm just going to copy that. Yada yada, I said it. I'm going to paste it up here. So go to the Superfly form text module, find the G-form wrapper, top label, G field, and do all this to it. Let's save that. Let's copy it. Let's go apply it to our advanced CSS here and see how it does. Perfect. Boom. And I am going to make it, I think I am going to make it the blue color because, and it's kind of bolded too. But I do think I want to make it the blue color. Let me go ahead and copy that blue color. And let me go say color and paste that blue in there. That will be nice. And then I'm going to say font weight just normal on this. And I think 20 is a little big. I'm going to go down to like 16, I think. Actually, no. We'll leave it where it is. All right, let's see here. Select all, get rid of that, put that in there. Okay, that's cool. Not sure how I feel. I don't want to do yellow. I'd be really hard to read. Oh, we'll leave it. I think maybe I want to take this down to font weight normal. Yeah, I do. Oh, it's not doing it. Let's see why not. Let's go ahead and save this. I'm going to refresh it on this side and right click on it, inspect it, and see why it's not. Font weight. Oh, looks like I have a nice mistake there. That's awesome. Yep. Instead of a colon, we want a semicolon. That's what I get for trying to type fast. Oh, look at that. It even tried to warn me there, and I ignored it. All right, that looks good. So we're going to move on to the fields. Actually, I think I want a little more spacing between. I feel like these are really close now. And let me see here. Oh, I don't think I actually saved it up here. Save. And then go and preview. Once that's done saving, there we go. Man, it takes a long time to save. Okay, so now I want to go in here, and you'll see that in Gravity Form's case, they do everything by list items here. So there's our first field, here's our next one, and they all have that some margin top there. So I think if I just bump this up to like 20, I think that'll give the spacing that I want. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to copy this whole rule right there. That's kind of tricky to get. And then since this is it's above our label, so I'm just going to paste it right here. And I'm going to just be neat and then grab my Superfly form and just replace the body with that. So Superfly form, G-form wrapper, UL, that should work right there. Let me get rid of this padding top. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to make the space between the label and the fields a little less. So I'm going to look at that and see what's causing that. So that would be this guy right here. Now it's tricky because name, email, and phone don't have any like letters that break that line like the G. So if you're just looking at the top three, you might be like, well, I want to do that. They're really close there. But then that G gets a little close. So I think 4 is about right. So I'm going to copy all that. And we'll do it after this guy. And we'll just replace body again with our Superfly form. And we'll move this guy over. All right, save, select all. Let's go ahead and update our CSS in here to see how we're doing. Save it. Oh, it's still, good grief, come on. a nice testing site. Let's try again. Save. That's actually the first time I've ever seen that particular message. So I might have to pause this and get this figured out and see what the problem is. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll pause it. I'll be back. And yeah, you might want to turn your headphones down a little bit. When I come back, sometimes there's a pop. So go ahead and turn your headphones down. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. And then I should be back in 3, 2, 1. All right, and we're back. Just a little issue there. I had to switch to my phone Bluetooth internet, so we'll see how this goes. But I got the CSS saved, and it looks like these should be a little closer now, I believe. Yep, they're 4 now instead of they were there. Now they're a little closer. Even 3 probably could have done it, but I think I like 4. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give these fields here some padding because I feel like it's just a little scrunched up here. So I'm going to go ahead and inspect one of the fields. Here we go. We see that it's 5 and 4. I think sometimes I just do 10 all around. Yeah, that looks a little better. So I'm going to copy all this here, go into my brackets, and this will be form or the field. And then I will make sure to grab this Superfly form and put it beforehand. Make sure there's a space there. Padding 10 pixels. That was a pretty easy change there. Let's go ahead and put this in. And you'll see that code there. It's saying gform wrapper input. If it's not, go get all the inputs except for radios, checkboxes, and the submit button, image or a file. So that's kind of a cool selector there in CSS. All right, next I want to ditch the borders here and just get this outline, this box shadow. And so since that box shadow is kind of what I want anyway, I'm just gonna go steal that. So let me go ahead and let me inspect this box and find that box shadow. Actually, here, let me just do this one. There it is. And I think I'm just going to add that to here and just say border none. Hopefully that'll get rid of that border, that line border, and will give us. Actually, I might want to keep the border. I think I probably should have kept the border. Yeah, and then you also see. Thanks. Yeah, I want to keep that border actually. So I just want to say border color transparent. And then I'm going to do 0, 0, 60, 0 like so. And then you'll notice that our padding worked great on these guys, but on down here it did not work so great because that's a text area. And so I'm going to put a comma here, and that's not covered up here in this rule. So I'm going to say superfly form .gform underscore wrapper text area like so. Select all that, come back here, and now when I copy paste this code, it should affect that text area. There we go. That looks better. Okay, and then the reason why, I'm going to go ahead and save this. The reason why I wanted to keep the border color transparent is on hover or on focus, I want to have the border color changed to this yellow color here. So I'm going to go ahead and inspect this guy and go grab this color. There it is. And I'm just going to paste that down here for now. And I'm going to grab all this right here. Border color, not collapse. There we go. And then I need to tell it on hover. So, well, actually, you would think it'd be on hover, but I'll show you why you don't want that. So let's just do this here. Copy this, come in, paste that in. All right, so now you see when I hover, a border automatically comes in, but that's not what we want. When I click in it, that's when I want the border to show up, because I want the user to know they're in that box. So, and also it's just immediately showing up. I want the fade in. So there's a couple things we have to do. To get the fade in, the first thing I need to do is go up here to this rule where it's targeting our input and text area. And I need to add in this transition all code here. And that'll make the fade in on the border color. And then I'm just going to change these hovers to say focus. When I focus on the field or the text area, then change the color of the border. All right, let me go and do this again. So now when I hover, it doesn't do anything, but when I click on it, it'll bring that, and oh, it's saving. Great. Awesome. Oh, it kicked me off my phone. I don't know why I did that. Good grief. It's having all kinds of problems. Connect to network, please. There we go. Frustrating. I don't know what the deal is today. What interference is happening to make this do this. I feel like, yeah, there we go. Let me refresh this. Yep, I know I'm going to lose all my changes. So focus basically is saying, hey, once I click on inside of it, then bring up this border color. And I think actually maybe we should have a little fun here. I'm going to change the box shadow on focus 2. And I'm going to grab this color really quick. And say, hey, turn it to that color as well. I'll go ahead and save that. Let's see how far we got here. Yeah, it's not doing it yet because it didn't save it with the new code, and this is still loading. There we go, finally. All right, let me go ahead and open this up. We'll paste in the new code. All this code, not just that color. And we'll save that. Hopefully, we'll save that. Okay, so now when I click in, it gets yellow and it gets the yellow box shadow, which is a little much. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and inspect here. I got this Actually, I'm going to do this one over here. I have the input. If I go up to this toggle element state and I choose focus, and then I'm just going to grab this color. I'm going to turn it down to maybe like, oh, not too far. Let me see here. Maybe like right there. And instead of hex value, I'm going to change it to RGB. So about 50% there. I like that. I'm just going to copy that whole box shadow rule now. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll look a lot better. I'm just going to go ahead and add that really quick. So yeah, you get the idea on that. I think I'm going to wrap up with tackling this button. Yeah, cool. And using the same methods, you could change the font size here, the font style, all that great stuff. So let's focus on, oh, it looks like my text area never got the, oh, it has padding 10. Never mind. Okay, great. All right, when I get back here, I'm going to pause it. We'll tackle the button. Be right back. All right, so I'm back. The office internet just took a nosedive, so I just thought, you know what, I'm going to finish this up tomorrow at my house. So, all right, so where we left off was we're about to tackle this button. So right now, this is where we are. This is all working well, and in fact, I think I'm going to increase the padding here to 15 on these because I feel like they could use a bit more. Yeah, I feel like that's a little better. Okay, so now we're going to tackle this button, and the buttons can be somewhat frustrating. So, but we'll do our best here. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on this guy, inspect it. And make sure I go in and get the button here. All right, so G-form footer and then button is what I'm going to say. Okay, so G-form footer and then button. So I'm going to come down here, G-form underscore footer and then button. But then first I'm just going to go ahead and grab the Superfly form G-form wrapper and put that before it there. So Superfly form space G-form wrapper, G-form footer, and then button. And then I'm just going to try and match the styles of this button down here. So I'm going to go ahead and inspect this guy. We have this border color here. So yeah, I already know we're going to want a border, 2 pixels solid. Going to have that color. Our background color is going to be that guy. Our text color is going to be white. Our font family here, well, font size is 14, letter spacing is 4. All right, so font size is 14, letter spacing is 4 pixels. Font family on this guy. Let me go ahead and hop over to computed, that way I can just scroll down and see this. Open sans. There we go. Let me go ahead and copy that. Also, though, in the example here, it has its rounded corners. We don't want that. We want a border radius of 0. That'll get rid of our rounded corners. All right, let's see where we are. And some of this we might have to put important on. That way it'll take it. Oh, there we go. We see some of that there. Let me just do some of this in here. Font weight, bold. That looks good. But my padding looks not so great. So let me padding. I should probably see what this one has for padding. Inspect. And padding might be tough since on hover that the arrow comes in. Let's go back to computed, go to padding. 10 and 14. 10 on the top and bottom, 14 on the left and right. All right, that's not so bad. 10 top and bottom, 14 left and right. Yeah, but then our arrow gets weird. But let me copy these here, or let me see, font weight bold. All right, let's put that over here as well. Font weight bold. And then padding 10 and 14. And then I'm going to copy this, and we're going to do a hover state. So on hover, we want well, right now, just the background color and the color of the text is being funky. So I'm going to say, that's all, the borders being fine, that's fine. The background color, or the color, we're going to change to that yellow. The background color, I'm just going to fade that out to nothing, like so. And the font family is fine. All this other stuff is fine except for the padding. So right now we have top 10, right 14, bottom 10, left 14. So it's the same as writing it like this. So right, I'm going to say 24 on the right, and see if that helps with our arrow, line up there. And it kind of does. Let me try like 34. That looks a little better. And it doesn't like our background color, so let's do an important on that guy. So actually, I think I'm just going to make it blue when they hover over it. Because well, here, let me save this real quick. 34. So we went with 34. I just feel like it's kind of hard to read at that point. So I think I'm just going to do this blue color. Sorry about that. Okay, so this blue color. So the background is going to turn that color. We don't need this anymore. And then our border color. Actually, we can just ditch the border, I think. Oh, no, let's just do border. Border color. There we go. That should do it. Okay, there it is. Had to add that important there, so let me go add that here. Great. So yeah, I'll do a couple other cool things here while we're on this. But that's the basics there of styling the form to make it match the rest of our page. We went quite a ways here, but we'll have a little bit more fun here, specifically on hover here. So sometimes what I do here on the text fields on the hover, let me find that then. Here we go, or on focus, I mean. So the border, I'm going to change the background color too, to this guy. And then I'm going to change the color to white, just to show you what this would look like. So now when I click in here, the whole thing turns yellow, and my text is white. But when I hop out to the other field, so that's kind of a cool deal as well, that that you could do. If you did do this, then I would just say maybe make the letters bigger or a little bold. And actually, those are small anyway. I'm going to change this font size to 18 pixels there. I think that'll be better. That's just a little small for my taste. Yeah, that's better. Nice, and maybe 16 would have been the better choice, but that looks, I like that. Or maybe, yeah, that looks good. Yeah, this looks like a good form here. The other thing you want to add, so you'll notice when no one has a picture of this, but on iOS the buttons sometimes have a rounded, even though you said don't use rounded corners on it and stuff. Sometimes iOS gives buttons their own styling. If that happens, then we used to use this code, but now we use this here. So I'm just going to copy this guy here, and what this does is it just styles for, so I'll say something like fix iOS styling. Then I'll paste that down there. Go ahead and comment this guy out. And we don't need this to be all separate like that. Okay, select all that, copy that. And before I update this, because I don't think it'll simulate it here. Let me see. If I choose this and I choose like an iPhone, yeah, it's not doing it there. Maybe if I do browser stack, maybe it'll show it. Let's do iOS. Let's just do an iPhone 8 here. Oh, I think I'm on a 27-inch screen. And I might have to look at it on a Safari on iPhone 8. But we'll see. Hopefully it'll show up here, and then so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, let me paste in the address there. Okay, let me switch to Safari. And maybe it won't because it's still running through the web. Maybe it won't do it. But if you just notice on your iOS devices that that it's showing your buttons in a weird way or your inputs in a weird way, that would be why. Let me try this one more time. I guess it's just the tutorial where things aren't going to work. Here we go. Okay. Now let me paste in this URL again. Okay, yeah, it's not gonna show it. Let me actually try my actual phone. Maybe I can show you through the screen, through the camera. How ghetto would that be? Maybe they fixed it. You know what? It looks like, maybe Divi is just coming with this feature now. Because on Chrome it looks fine. Let me try Safari here. I remember used to having to put that code in. And I remember that Elegant Themes site too. Their buttons were iOS styled. But maybe they realized that, yeah, it looks all good on my phone. You can see that it looks great. So, all right. Well, I guess we don't need that code, but I'm going to leave it in there just in case someone has an old outdated version of iOS or something. But that is how you style. And I'll put a link to the style sheet that we just did for this. That way you can have it and kind of see what I did with it. Or actually, I'll just put it in a code pen for you. But all right, thanks for watching. Sorry again for all the technical issues. Glad that you hung with it. And yeah, have a great day. Stay fly.